Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Griggs. We live in some trying times, but you got to be able to choose your enemies carefully, but you need to choose your allies maybe far more carefully because maybe it's your allies you got to worry about the most. You know where your enemies stand, at least generally. Sometimes you got to wonder about your allies. Throughout our history, uh, from the World War I to World War II and the Cold War, a lot of other countries have been happy for the United States to spend their treasure and their blood defending their lands, often in many cases to degrees beyond which they're willing to do for themselves. Why should we do it? Why should we do it? I think some things of spatial late beg the question. You take France with their president Macron going to China. Now, I can understand that, maybe their deal with China to be different than ours. They're a different country, but to kind of stab us in the back and say they would trade in yuan and do other things and make special deals with China. So you got to remember the so-called great geopolitical analyst, Peter Zahn, and he's out here talking about things like, well, China wouldn't dare do anything to Taiwan because they're going to look and see what we did to Ukraine and all the sanctions and how they hurt Russia so bad, and how China, because they're so dependent on foreign trade, would be so much more damaged by these sanctions. I think Xi Jinping's laughing at Zion right now really hard and hilariously because Macron just proved there's no weight in that because all these other countries are still willing to deal with China on China's terms. In the face of the United States and whatever our other interests are, they're willing to cut those deals. And oh yeah, by the way, those sanctions really haven't worked out so great against Russia, have they? Because Russia right now is so more, they've just made record sales in diesel fuel. They're still selling and trading with who? Well, India and China and some of our allies. Oh yeah, and our former ally that we just recently lost, Saudi Arabia. Thanks to our wise State Department headed by Secretary of State Blinken, who has got himself in another political snout. We're going to go to my Swivelhead News channel after this, and we'll talk about this. He's had his own little episode that's just come to light that really makes him look, Well, he should already just give him, the whole world was disintegrated under his purview as Secretary of State and under the purview of his chief, the Commander-in-Chief, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, Sniffy Joe. So guys, we are, this is what I say, you got to choose your allies carefully. I tell you what, like I've told y'all before, when we were in the Army, and we thought we might be in Europe when the balloon goes up. That means the war starts with, at the time, it was the Soviet Union. We used to have an old joke. Well, what do you do when the Russians are in front of you and you got the Frenchmen behind you? The old joke was you turn around and shoot the Frenchmen and then you go fight the Russians. Now, I know we got some guys on my channel who subscribe and watch my channel who are Frenchmen and so forth. And hats off to you. Thank you for watching. That was just the old joke at the time. But, the fact of the matter is France has kind of waffled around a little bit. France likes to be their own country. They want to still be an empire state. And they are in many ways. They still have a great control over a lot of Africa in a somewhat semi-colonial fashion. They've kind of repurposed it, make it look different. But effectively, they're still a colonial power in many ways over some of the African states. They really dominate some to this day. So, okay, so I see France has got their little thing going. But, so it really frosted me for years that we were over there defending these people. We were spending our own money, our own treasure, risking our own blood. And what do we get? And thanks for it. The Europeans tend to look down on us. They look down their bony nose of indignation at us cowboys here in America. Well, maybe it's because they wish they could be cowboys too. Is that it? Maybe they just wish they could be, but maybe too afraid of breaking that little fingernail a little too gentrified. Oh, I might break a fingernail. I might get some dirt under my fingernail. Oh my gosh. I got to stay in a suit and I got to, drive in my BMW. I got to stay on the Autobahn and air conditioning. Go to the opera. Hey, I love opera. My daughter sings opera. But, guys, you can have this cultural sophistication, but you can still get out in the dirt. I do it out here. I got a worm farm and I'm a rocket scientist. See, just because you can fly rockets doesn't mean that you got to be uppity. I don't like that. Not at all. There's no excuse for it. They're no better. I mean, if they were so great and wonderful, how come we got to defend them? How come they can't defend themselves? So, maybe we should say, okay, Mr. Macaroni, we'll just pull out of NATO. We'll save our money. We'll bring our troops home. You take care of it. You said you wanted a European army. Okay, you got it. Form your European army. And when the Ruskies roll into France, we'll say, hello. What are we going to lose by that? Honestly, what would we lose if the Russians rolled all the way into Paris? Forget Ukraine. Let's just say they took it all. What would the United States lose? Would we really lose anything? BMWs? Volkswagens? What would we stand to really lose? Oh, you might not be able to take a vacation on the Rhine. Oh, when the dust clears, the Ruskies will be happy to have you over for vacation. Hey, I had the time of my life in Moscow in 2010. So, I don't know, guys. I'm not saying I'm from Russia. Don't get that. Don't get that at all. I'm not taking sides in this. What I'm doing is asking a question. Why are we risking nuclear war, standing up against Russia in a land that we're protecting that don't give a flip about us? I get the feeling they're ingrates. A lot of them. Oh, there's plenty of Europeans that aren't of that opinion. And quite a few Europeans got mad at Macron over that. And he does have a whole lot of protests going on against him in his homeland. So, okay, they're not all solid. The whole thing is this. We need a lot of public debate about who we ally with, who we fight, why we fight, and what's worth it and what's not worth it. This don't happen as a national discussion. We get some elites making these decisions for us, and off we go. And everybody's in the bucket riding along, getting shot at, whether you want to be or not. It's one thing to buy into it. It's another thing to just be along for the ride. Yeah, when the towers fell at 9/11, America was mad. The whole country, we were united, rightfully or wrongfully. Well, at least we were united for a brief period of time. And a bunch of old Southern rednecks was happy to stand up for the New Yorkers. But, guys, it's it's a fact of the matter that we've not had the proper discussion. So who we are, and maybe we're too divided to really do that. That's a sad story. That's the real sad story. When we got a divided house, and then they each house decide who they are. That might work a whole lot better, and then move forward. I hope we can have some alliance and not have to fight over divided sheets and splitting our hickory nuts, if you know what I mean, in a so-called national divorce. But guys, seriously, some people say, oh, look, we run Europe, we colonized Europe. Europe's still under military control now. No, it's not. The Germans do what they want to do, the French do what they want to do, and we've got some forces over there, but we're not in control by any. And some people say, oh, we got nukes over there, but we got a few little gravity-fed bombs that can drop from an airplane. Hoo. They got missile-tipped nukes over there on the other side. So what we got is matches compared to dynamite sticks. But it is, we used to have a superior tactical nuclear force there, because at one time the Soviet Union had more troops, more tanks, more artillery, and they even had street signs made up with all the streets in Europe and Rusky. We really thought that they were going to roll, and we thought we couldn't contain them unless we used tactical nukes. But when the Cold War was over, H.W. Bush got rid of them. He destroyed most of them. Right or wrong? He says, "All right, we don't need these anymore. Get rid of them." Was it right? Was it wrong? Was our State Department driving that again? Our State Department's track record is somewhat less than absolutely spectacular. If it were otherwise, we'd have a lot more allies in the world today. But all our so-called allies are warm weather friends, it looks like. As soon as it looks like there might be an advantage of switching sides, they rush to it, irregardless of what the other side's really like at their core. I just did a video last night about China, and I talked about how China had seduced us. And, just relax, lay back, we'll be friends, and, all that good, happy stuff. And now that they took our market and they got all intertwined with us, and they built up the industry, and then they're able to expand the markets otherwise in the world. Then they take their aim at us, and we see them for what they really are. But we've had to, some of us have really had to make a lot of racket to help people see that what's happening with the Uyghurs, what's happening with the Tibetans, what's happening with the Falun Gong, what's happening with the Christians there, what's happening with anybody who's not Han Chinese. And if you're a black guy in China, if you're a black guy in China during the shutdowns, you were not in the best place in the world. So I'm seeing a lot of reports of that. So, spare me that China deserves a turn to run the world. I don't want to run the world. So we got 97 in the room. Very good. Hey, I'm going to come back to the chat room in a little bit here, guys. So what happened to my screens? My screens are not under my control right now for some reason. Okay, wow, click on something that won't even show up. All right, so guys, this is I mean, you may not like what I'm saying, but I've been in the Army, and when I was in the Army, I resented Europe. I resented them. I wasn't happy. So what? We can go and defend these guys, and they act like this toward us. We're spending our money. We're putting our red blood on the line. I wasn't happy then, but I was okay. We're the Ruskies, under the communist doctrine of world domination, blah, 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 and Soviet Union. Okay, they're a world threat. They got nukes and blah, 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 blah. Well, that was the thinking at the time. We can't let them, advance further, blah, 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 blah. Was that right or wrong? I don't know. Hard to say. The communism was awful. Communism is a horrible thing. Russia is not a communist country anymore. They're just kind of a mafioso country. Something. They haven't learned free enterprise in Russia. And when I was over there, they still acted like government employees when you go to the restaurants. Like, what are you doing here? If you're in a real private enterprise, once people really understand private enterprise, the customer is it. You service the customer. Oh, what can I do for you? Like the Chinese, at least the Chinese get that. They're only communists to get it, but that's Sun Tzu. So it's ingrained in their culture. You got to seduce your enemy. And now they're seducing the rest of the world. But what do they get out of that? They're getting votes in the UN. That's what a lot of people don't realize. They're stacking up votes in the UN. They never follow the UN, but they know we will. So what? They can flaunt the UN treaties all day long. In any country, they've always done. But we will stick to the treaties. Wow. That's also choose your treaties, choose your allies, choose your enemies. Guys, there's just a lot of stuff there that we've got to have a look at. That our State Department is stupid. Our State Department believes that these treaties with people that have no sense of honor for honoring treaties mean something. They think that China still has just 300 nukes. They thought that all along, even though China had facilities to build them. They had facilities to build them all. Magically, they built a certain number, and it didn't happen anymore. Even though they were building missiles, nuclear carrying missiles, just as fast as the factories they go. Oh, no, they just got this many. And even though we didn't have anybody go over there and verify, we didn't have no treaties with them, nothing to go in there and look and see what they got. Yeah, treaties are only good when you can trust and verify. Not just trust, but verify. Treaties are only good when you can verify. At least with Russia, we had a mutual inspection deal going. Even with Iran to some point. We had nothing like that with China. And now we don't with Russia anymore either, because we just abrogated between us and Russia all those treaties. So there's no mutual inspection. We don't know what's coming up. They don't know what's coming up. The world is in greater tension than we've ever seen it. We could be in a nuclear war over Ukraine. Are you willing to give up our big cities to see mushroom clouds rise in the sky and our power grid fill for that? Maybe you should be. Maybe it's all a bluff. I got good friends that say that's a bluff. It'll never happen. Well, okay. Where's the discussion about it? That's my point. We need some discussion space. But I'm not stopping and talking about Ukraine. I'm talking about all of Europe. Why isn't Europe taking care of Europe? How about that for a question? Why isn't France and England and Germany taking care of their own dang business there? It's their backyard, not ours. Not my backyard. Why aren't they taking care of that? I might have European ancestry, but it's so remotely removed We have no cultural memory of that in my region of the states. Nobody in the South talks about the old country. I used to sit on TV like, what? What's the old country? What the hell? What are they talking about? I'd sit on TV all the time while he's talking, blah, 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 the old country. What? We got no concept of that down here. You know, I know from history books that our ancestors came from over there, but my grandma, when I told her something, just said, no, we've always been here. When I was talking about us taking a lamp from the Indians, what are you talking about? We've always been here. That was my grandmother, who was born in 1902. Bless her heart. We've always been here. That's the way it is in the South. That's just the feeling. We're Americans. This is where we are. This is who we are. This is where we're from. You're American, and it ain't got nothing to do with the color of this stuff. You can be black, white, red, green, purple. If you're an American, you're an American. You know, that's the way it is. It's an idea. It's a philosophy. It's a dream of freedom. It's a dream of ability. But now we reign all over this, and we color it. And we got people in our schools that are controlled and influenced by who? China, maybe? Trying to throw dispersion on us and our sense of who we are, trying to get us to look in at ourselves and our own navel button so hard we can't see anything outside. I never said we were perfect. But show me a better country anywhere. Show me one. One. Come on. Maybe Switzerland, possibly. I'll tell you something though. Everybody in Switzerland's got their own little full auto bang bang. And you gotta have it. And guess what? Nobody bothers them. And they don't have people running around banging all over each other. It's a cultural problem. It ain't because it ain't the nug, it's the toter, it's the society, it's the laws, it's the rot in the core of the society that needs to be woken up and flushed out. But our court systems, they let any kind of crime go. Crime pays in America. Criminals get turned out. So, all right, you get caught every now and then. But on the large and whole, you're probably going to gain something, stealing and grabbing. That wants to be what they think, because they sure are doing a lot of it, and they're doing more and more of it. And some places are getting more open on, hey, they can steal $900 worth, and that's not nothing. We won't even slap them on the back of the hand. And that's what's happening in some states. Guess what? People are leaving them states, they're leaving those cities. Why? Because it's cuckoo. Defund police, take up people's nugs, give them no right to self-defense, and turn the hoodlums loose out of jail. Oh, yeah, that's lovely, right? That's what they're doing. Just lovely. Peachy. Peachy. Wow. And that's justice. Once upon a time, justice was if somebody did you wrong, they were held accountable for it. That was justice. Now justice is if you do something wrong, well, we'll make sure you don't suffer. We'll make sure you're okay. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. We might lock you up a little bit if it's, for community safety. If you kill 40 people, yeah, okay, we'll lock you up for a few years. And political crimes, they'll throw away the key. So we got a State Department, a Justice Department. It seems to have a strong bent to one side of the political spectrum, but that's a whole nother story. I'm going to open the chat room up here in a minute, and then we're going to go and look at some articles. And I probably went too far here. I just had a video that was suspended because it told me I was bringing up old news as if it was current. When do I ever do that? Oh, they didn't like it because I was talking about something, and I'm probably getting in trouble just for saying this. Oh, well. To do with the Gates bill and some of the meat that's, comes out of laboratories that they're going to try to have you eat along with the bugs. Yeah, you can't talk about that kind of stuff. But I'm going to talk about on Swirlhead News something else that was absolutely foreboding. Oh, you can't talk this. We'll shut your channel down. We'll pull your videos. I kind of touched on the topic. My video got, bam, misinformation. Well, it turns out all the old misinformation today is the true information, right? Yeah. How many times has this happened? Over and over and over and over. What was misinformation? All the fact checks. Oh, that's wrong. Boom. Today. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Over and over and over. So who can you trust? How can you trust this media? How can you trust these platforms? I'm about to get banned. How can you trust this stuff, guys? Holy guac and smoke them. I got to shut up. Take this elsewhere. Now they do on the platform. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly, guys. Holy guac and smoke-a-moly. All right, I'm going to check the chat room. We're going to look at a few articles, and then we're going to go over Swellhead News. We'll talk about a little bit more from the political spectrum. But I'm going to show you a few articles, kind of buttressing what I'm talking about. But I'm going to check the chat room over here. Let's see here. I got to do a refresh, bring it up. So who's here tonight? See if I hope I haven't missed any super chats. I've been on my little tirade. If I have somebody draw the, oh, we got one. We got one at least. Hope I didn't miss another one because it'll disappear after a little bit. Lady LaBelle. Thank you, Lady LaBelle. Thank you. God bless you, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you. We got 135 in the room. All right. Mon Mitchell, Sierra Star, Stan Grenfell. Yeah. Lady LaBelle, Patrick Bellamere. For government employment after the end of World War II in Europe between 1945 and 1959. Yeah. Yeah, we had the Marshall Plan. We bailed these people. We saved them twice. World War I, World War II. Then after World War II, we rebuilt them with the Marshall Plan. Then we stayed over there in the Cold War, and they looked down their bony noses of indignation at us. You know, most of the time, and look at Germany, Japan, we beat them totally. And what do? Do we go in and colonize them and claim them and micromanage? No, to make them pay tribute to us. We got huge occupation forces there. You know what? Japan won't even let us use our forces there to attack anybody attacking Taiwan. Imagine it is with all the tension between Japan and China, they won't let us do that. Isn't that weird? Russia over there flying their bombers around Japan, intimidating Japan. Japan and Russia have had a lot of wars. Japan and China have had a lot of wars. Wow. That's where they're standing. So what about our allies? And then South Korea is kind of fickle too. But really, you want us over there protecting you? Do you really want us there? Why are we there? You want me there? You want me to risk getting my homeland nuked because I'm defending your rusty rear end? Then how about standing up and acting like a man, like you got a pair, and quit being such a weasel? Well, I will do this. Quit being a weasel. Jeez. All right, that'll probably be all kind of trouble. Quit being a weasel. Quit weaseling around. Stand up. Be a man. Oh, there ain't no more men. I forgot. Jeez. Oh, yeah. Testosterone poison. Well, there ain't no more testosterone. We got all the chemicals in our environment. All the boys these days are girls. Yeah. Seriously, the chemicals in our environment are horrible. And they're rough on guys. Man, I got to get a video out there about that, too. Bailey Pham, Colonel Douglas McGregor, and Scott Ritter. You know, Greg, love you. There you go. Thank you. New Days, way to go. Super chat. Yeah. Appreciate that, Lady LaBelle. Armand Mitchell. I hope I said right, Armand. Good night, guys. Greg, I have some deep disagreements with you in some of the points, but I'm so glad you always seem to engage the subject without being nasty. Well, Armand, what do you not like? Tell us. What do you disagree with? I'm open for you telling me what you disagree with. Some people, some channels, you can't disagree with them. They go, boom. No, I don't do that. I'll leave them freedom of speech. If you got a disagreement, tell me about it. You got to remember, I used to be on the other side of the spectrum. When I was in high school, I was the communist. Seriously. I learned better. I learned better, though, guys. I learned the error of my ways. And I understand them because I've been there. I know better. I know better. I was once among them. I'm like the Borg who pulled a, hey, we got Diamond in the house. Boom time. There you go, Diamond. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. It is boom time. We're rocking tonight. David Potter. That's why we have U-Haul sold out in California, because it's so great. Exactly. People are fleeing. 2 million people. How many fled California? It's crazy, guys. Smoky Vlogs. Much love. Cheers. Love defeats hate. There you go. And that's true. And I'll teach that on this channel. I'm not teaching hate. I'm just asking, why are we there? I mean, that's all I'm doing here. I'm not putting out hate. I'm not pulling out call for war or violence or nothing like that. It's just we got to really ask some fundamental questions, and we better ask our allies the same fundamental questions. Tell me why we're here. Tell me why it's worth it. You know, Lee's in bed. Is she okay? She okay there, Diamond? Hello, Greg from Snowflake. Hey, Jennifer Miller. It's still safe here. Very good. You go check out my place over there. So let's see. Wow, Willie, you can't control crime when the ones in charge are the biggest criminals. We're going to Swivelhead News after this, and we're talking about just that. Yeah. Wow. Wise Al, how you doing, Wise Al? Jesse Mills. Let's come back here. Marvin Funtime. Hey, Sierra Star, thank you. Another little super chat there. How come that didn't show up on my thing in the top? George Coggins. Oh man, we got a lot of stuff in here. It's our job, Lady LaBelle. That's right. That's right. Sometimes we just got to lay it on the line. That's what we're doing tonight. We're laying it on the line tonight. I'm just tired. This information equals truth you're not allowed to say. Mr. Marvin Funtime. Yeah, I always think Marvin's Furniture when I say Marvin's Funtime, because that used to be the big store where I grew up. Yeah, absolutely. Rumble, Greg. You don't make any money on Rumble. May have to do Rumble. But let's see here. James Matter, you guys did hear from Matt. From I've been seeing something about that. What is cooking there, James? What is cooking there? You just need to be sarcastic, Greg. Play their game. Swivelhead News. Thanks for sharing that, because that's where we're going next. We're going to go Swivelhead News. I heard there's a bunch of nuclear bombers, atomic sniffers, planes, and President Doomsday plan in the air. Yeah, it's been getting crazy, guys. We may be on the verge of nuclear war. Lee is, all right. Our good friend Diamond, he's no fan of Lee. Check that out. So let's see here. Yeah, guys, you know, we got some tough questions. I love Scranton. I got caught. I caught the PA state record. Trout. Oh wow, 1984, 14 pounds 9 ounces. Wow, that's a picture of that. Sir, what am I? Lady LaBelle says, sir, what? I am a lady, woman. I have been since birth. My pronouns he, she. You know me. I lived in Spring and graduated from Clean. Lady LaBelle, did I question you being a lady? I don't think so. If you thought I did, my apologies. Lady LaBelle, I have no intention of offending you. I was thanking you. What did I say? Something wrong? Kim Jong-un's sister's crazy. Oh yeah, she scares the devil out of me. That woman is psycho. He's psycho, but she is like super psycho. Yow. You should flight pass and sniffer circles. That's all. Yeah. Give me a break. Anyone who does not see through, yeah. Big weekend. Glad to see you here, says Dan. All right. Please stop the grift on this channel. All right, say Starbell OPR. Hey, you know what? I allow debate on my channel. I'll allow debate. We don't all have to be. See what New Day says. Diamond has his reasons for his opinion. All right. Diamond's no friend. So I'm not about to be dissing Diamond. Diamond's a mod and he's going to stay a mod on my channel. All righty, guys. So we believe in freedom of speech here. We can have debate on my channel. Some channels don't allow debate. I do. So I'm tough enough to take it. If you don't like what I say, tell me. Just come right out. Don't mince him out. Don't be a mealy mouth. Just put it out there. You don't like what I say? Tell me. Come right out and say it. I had some of my mods abandoning people for that because they're used to doing it on other platforms. No, I don't mind that. Don't ban somebody just because they disagree. Now, we don't take curse words on our channel. We don't take, obscenities, things that the platform don't allow. But I'm tough. If you're going to throw a rock at me, throw it. They will never come on my channel. All righty, I'll come on your channel. You'll have me again. It's definitely a great atmosphere here. Thank you, George. That's the way I'm trying to keep it. We are a family channel, though. And I won't, Lee can come on here, Diamond come on here. Well, I'll hear whatever. But guys, I've got to ask that. Why are we in Europe? Why are we over there? What difference would it make fundamentally to the United States if the Russians rolled right into Paris, took the whole continent? I can't think of any. So why the heck am I risking my life for anybody over there, especially their attitudes? Hey, D Ladybug, thank you. I mean, well, thank you there, Diamond. Seriously, guys, tell me, answer me. If you disagree with that, tell me, why should we risk our lives right now with the attitudes they got? With Macaroni out running around, French President Macaroni, the shaky noodle he is. Why in the world, he's one of Klaus's little boys, He's one of Klaus's little boys. Absolutely, D Lady. Thank you, D Ladybug. So scroll back up. Give the $10 check. Did I miss that one? Sierra Star was 2. Oh, there it is. I did miss it. MSB 9021. $10. Up too late, but it's worth it. Well, thank you there, MSB 9021. Good. I'm glad you think it's worth it. Fantastic. Now, guys, I'm open for debate here. I mean, seriously, what I put out, you ain't got to go, oh, well, I hate you, and just unsubscribe. If you don't want to say, man up, lady up, whatever, come on here and say it. Stand up and say, okay, no, I don't buy that. And tell me why. I'm asking questions. Questions beg answers. Everything I put out here tonight's a question. All questions beg answers. I'm not putting answers out. I can get deplatformed, though, because they say I'm trying to blah, 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 blah. No, I'm asking questions. We need to ask questions in this country. There is 0 reasons to give all our tax money to the most corrupt governments in the world, period. Bam! That includes our own. Amen. Amen, Diamond. Amen. Why are we giving our money over to all these people? We're giving our money. We're giving our young kids out of high school to go over and risk their lives. We're putting a bang bang in their hands and say, you go over there and stand up, and if they cross this line, you do what you got to do. I was in that one time. I had the suit on. But I did resent Europe when I was in the Army. I thought, who are these uppity, highbrow people looking down on me? I got to go defend their real rusty rear ends. Now, I know some good Europeans. I'm looking at the elites over there. And there's Europeans that come in my chat rooms almost every night. And saying about them, I watch many channels. I don't necessarily agree with everyone's personal opinions, but the information is there. If you don't know how to discern information from the delivery person, you lose it. You lose that. There you go, Marvin. George, yeah, things are crazy all over the geopolitical board right now. Nothing makes sense, and at least not in the info we're given. Amen. It's what we're given. No, I watch Lee sometimes just because he's got a zillion monitors on and he watches a lot of stuff. He's listening to EAMs. He's got a lot of people reporting to him. Sometimes you can pick up news over there real fast, a breaking event. I mean, that's the Kathy Pittman. Hey, folks, Kansas. But hey, Diamond, I've been buds for a while, a long time back, even before I had a channel, before this channel was started, I was going to, on Rex's channel, on Diamond's channel, LeakCon. I've been on those channels before I started this channel. And this channel's been going, what, over 4 years, almost 5. So it seems like politics, like any system in nature, is starting to succumb to the laws of entropy. Oh, yeah. Well, it's past it. Yeah, Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Guys, go check out his channel. Subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Diamond, go subscribe to him. Oppenheimer Ranch Project. He's also got Magnetic Reversal News. He puts out some really interesting stuff, especially talking about the geological history and mastodons and when the Laurentine ice sheet got hit by the comet and all these things. Man, there's a whole bunch of good information out there. Have you heard about the Burkle Crater Diamond, the event 5,000 years ago, which probably was the start of the legends of Noah's flood? And now it looks like there's some impact craters from the same time period. Well, no, from not the 5,000 year ago event, but from the Younger Dryas event, even in the Mediterranean, which might have kicked up an 1,800 foot high wall of water. No, I think it's 1,800 meters. Crazy, crazy. And that could have washed over the Sahara and maybe taken out the eye of the Sahara, which many think was maybe, possibly, potentially Atlantis. Interesting stuff, guys. We live in interesting times. We're finding a lot of stuff. Well, the truth of the matter is, life on Earth is not stable, guys. Sam Turner, $20. Greg, do you think China will attack Taiwan before the end of May? Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. It's sure beating the drums hard over there. Colorado Jan, thank you. Thank you for being here. She likes to contribute. She sends me little checks in the mail from time to time. Her super chats come in the mail. I want to show her address, but that's one of her letters. I got my finger over her address. Yeah, she's awesome. Colorado Jan. I just knocked the knife into the floor. Anywho, R. Smith, I met Lee on your channel, Diamond. Yeah, well, there was a community there. Noah podcast about Burkle Crater. There you go. I figured you were on that. Man, some interesting stuff. Guys, Earth is getting hit a lot more than what you realize. And those hits devastate the environment. With a modern and fragile economy like we got that, you would not survive. This is why we tell you to prep. Look what Diamond's doing. He's got his Earthship house he's developing. What I did a video called The Great Fix. Almost nobody watched it. One of the most important videos I ever did. You need to go check out The Great Fix. Because the main message of that was you need to be self-resilient, self-reliant. You need to be able to live on your own means as much as possible. Now, no man's an island. We need to form communities that are self-reliant with these philosophies and these tenets. And I showed a homestead as being an example. But then I went into my universal habitat concept because I think it's the epitome of self-reliance. Man, it's like a little space station on the ground. You can grow your food in, live in, and make a living out of a home on 1/10 of an acre. It's a pretty amazing concept. You don't need water or energy from hardly anywhere else if you do it right. But anyway, so using a lot of thermal mass. It's kind of like an Earthship on steroids, scaled up to what I call a Domination. I'm after the farming family in Pasadena, California, known as the Devases, who on 1/10 of an acre grow all the food they need, except in their case, grain products, and they sell from it and make a living. And at one time, when the dad was alive, they were supporting 4 adults. They lived meager, but they were the best well-adjusted family you'd ever meet. Happy people, because they didn't have crazy expectations and materialistic, I got to have the latest bauble gizmo. No, they weren't into that. They were down-to-earth people, good, solid, down-to-earth people. I think the world of them. They're the Vase family in Pasadena, California. I did a couple of videos on them back a couple of years back, and I'd been there even before when Julian DeVase was still alive, the father. The Homestead Act is still used in law. I don't know. They were homesteading still in Alaska some before I left. I wish I'd have stayed. No, I wanted to go to college, get my engineering degree, and go into space stuff. Well, I did that. Grand Forks got a foot of white stuff yesterday. Nah, Al Gore said that don't happen no more. It's not supposed to be happening in 2023. It can't be no white stuff falling. No, that's just imagination. So Some people got a lot of imagination, right? Self-sufficiency is my goal. There you go, D Ladybug. So guys, I'm here to put out a message, and that's the key thing to it, self-sufficiency. That's why I got a worm farm. That's why I got a garden. That's why I've got stuff for blacksmithing. I got iron pots. I got an old washboard, you know. Prepping isn't just nugs and kibbles for your nugs. I got that too. You know what I mean? If you're new to the channel, a nug is flip them letters around. You know what I'm talking about. They bark. When they bark, they go bang, 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 bang. And you know what I'm talking about? All right. So no divide and conquer. The oligarchs don't have the numbers. Power is, yes. That's what I teach you too. That there's more of us than there is of them. Why do we sit there and accept it? Why in the world did the Jews all go on the cattle cars and march into the camps? If they'd known what was coming, they wouldn't have done it. Yeah, there might have been one guy there with a bang bang, but there was enough of them. They, they would have lost a few of them, but they would have overpowered them in the long term. A lot more of them would have lived. A lot more of them. When you go along down the chutes to the slaughterhouse, yeah, guess what's waiting on you? Just happily go on. Al Gore has no rhythm. You got that right, Chewy. Let's see. An Al Gore rhythm. Al Gore has no rhythm. Try to source all your needs in a 10-mile radius, as much as you can, or whatever distance you can cover. You know, even the Indians had trading networks, but they weren't anything like we have today. So a wise owl usually takes a common adversary or some sort to bring such groups as one. Well, we do have a common adversary. We just need to wake up to it. It's our own grubment. I hope that grubment don't trigger an Al Gore has no rhythm. The left wing and right wing still the same bird. There you go, James. And to homestead that, you need to check the laws in your state. Oh, that's really it. Why does my cabbage fail? All right, guys, let's look at some stuff here. We're going to look at a few articles. So ding, 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 ding. I got to hit the share screen. Hang on, buddies. Ding, ding, ding. Here we go. There he is. Mr. Macaroni. Oh, huggy with the Mr. Face never changes, poker face is Xi Jinping. Oh, he's got his mouth open a little bit, so his face is a little bit changed there. Not much. Macaroni, head all cocked back, like, yeah, I own this. Wow, this guy's got his hand up his skirt. You can see he's behind him. Where's his hand? This is the puppet. This is the puppet master. Can't you tell by the photograph? That's kind of the look. Oh, you get your hand up, my. Macaroni speaks in anger. I said Europe should not be a vassal in U.S.-China clash. Okay, Mr. Macaroni, you pay for Europe. You pay for it. You defend it. It's yours. Let's get the heck out of Dodge. Why are we there? Mr. Macaroni, you want it, you got it. Let's get the heck out of there. Bye-bye, NATO. I ain't want no part of it no more. Tired of it. Yeah, here's another article. Are you willing to die for Taiwan? Now, I would say if I had to put my blood somewhere, I'd rather go for Taiwan than anything in Europe. These guys really want their freedom. Now, I say, you know, the ex-Soviet bloc countries really want their freedom. Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, the ones that's had to live under the boot. But the ones that haven't, you know, like France and Germany, they don't care. So let them pay for it. It's their backyard. And it just so happens that Taiwan, we get 70% of the world's chips come from Taiwan. I think it's like 97% of the real high-end, high-tech chips come from Taiwan. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation, TSMC. Now, we got a little too reliant on one place. We should learn lessons about that, especially when they're right next door to somebody that'd like to take them. I love EU and NATO. Okay, Anton. Well, tell us about it, Anton. But when you got Macron over there saying stuff like that, why can't he pay for it? He said he wanted the European army, and let him form it. I'm just asking why. Hey, you can love Europe all day long. Well, why should we risk nuclear war right here? Why should we be paying our tax money? Why should we be risking the blood of our young soldiers over there? We might need them here. We might need them to face off China. But do we face China at Taiwan, or do we back off a leg? And my friend David Pine says that we should let China have their sphere of influence and Russia their sphere of influence. On the other hand, Lee's all in for defending Taiwan to the hilt. Hello, Greg. Hey, Tim, how you doing? I grew some natural medicine last year before last. Still have some. There you go. Hey, now see, David. Excuse me. That's right, David. Now, Diamond also is into wild medicinals. I've done videos on wild medicinals. Diamond has got a bunch of videos on that too, guys. Diamond gardens. Diamond's got a greenhouse, and Diamond buys worms from Green Greg's a couple times. Mine is half shade. Okay. Well, you know, there's some things that grow better in shade, like lettuce, especially in summertime. The skunky variety. So, well, there's wild lettuce out here, you know. There's a lot of wild medicinals. Check out my video. Greg, Taiwan has built a factory for chips and peanuts. They are. And that's going to help us. Now, see, we're really connected to Taiwan. And so the question is, what happens if we don't defend Taiwan? This is just a question. I'm not saying this is the answer. If we don't defend Taiwan, there's words that are allies, like in South Korea and Japan would feel like we wouldn't defend them, and the alliance would break down. Maybe Australia would be in the same category. Greg, did you get the job thing figured out? No, Nightman's wife. That's still up in the air. I'm working part-time from my old day job for a little while. I don't know how long that'll last. I've got a business plan I'm doing, the new venture group. If it works out and pans out, it'll be great. And there's a couple things I need to apply for here. But and I'm trying to work toward a plan to maybe not losing this place here. I've got somebody that's telling me that they can run it. Time will tell. I don't know yet. Skunk cabbage root makes some great medicines. There you go. Bud Light. All right, so Greg, so New Day is yes, I grow all my leafy greens in semi-shade north facing. There you go. That's New Days, and she's wet in Maine. Why is I'll carry your water from a spring box uphill. There you go. It's easier to carry if you can go downhill. A lot of springs like to be at the bottom of the hill. So let's see, George Coggins. My Lyme-related arthritis acts up. I nibble a tiny bit of chaga, and within 10 minutes, okay. Chaga don't go wild right here. It goes up I think it grows on birch trees or aspen. Yeah, don't grow in this area here. We do have lion's mane will grow here. What's up, Lee? All right, y'all gonna duke it out? So let's see here. All right, guys, let's get in here. And so the deal with Taiwan is this. The question is, if we didn't support them, how will our allies react in South Korea and in Japan? But then again, our so-called allies in Japan and South Korea are fickle too, because they're going, okay, you can do this, but you can't use bases here for that, like defending Taiwan. So, okay, so if our defense of Taiwan, if you believe in we're an ally with you, is contingent on our defense of Taiwan, then why do you put this policy on us? You need to back it up, buddy. We're over here putting our treasure, risking our blood and nuclear war to defend you, and you're going to be fickle like this? Let's put them to the test. You want us to defend Taiwan or not? Because if Taiwan fails, who's going to be the ones that's going to be most at risk? Hey, Marvin, appreciate it, man. Thank you. If Taiwan fails, who's going to be most at risk? South Korea and Japan. Because now China will have a new military beachhead in the first island chain. It will, it's the chink in their armor that will suddenly get filled. And the people that's going to be most in peril will be, well, we got Guam that'll be in peril. That's U.S. territory with U.S. citizens there and some major U.S. military bases. Every person on Guam is an American citizen. It may be a territory, but every person there is an American citizen. So everybody there is an American citizen. So the question is, what's it boil down to? We should put them to the test. You want us to defend Taiwan or not? Do you want it to fall? Because Japan's got islands right next to the Shekel Islands and all these other islands, the Dalilu, whatever they call them. The claim by both China and Japan. Oh yeah, Taiwan, Formosa Island, was Japanese, and the Japanese basically signed it over to us, and then we gave it to the Republic of China, which was the government of China that got run out by the insurgency of the People's Republic of China, the CCP. Yeah, they were never the same. The people in Taiwan are the original China. How about that? They never were under the People's Republic of China. They never were under the CCP. They're not a breakaway province. They are China in my book. The CCP is the insurgency that took over mainland. That's how I see it. Mills doesn't think so. Is Diamond still in the room? Who's Mills? Who's Mills, Lee? Who's Mills? He has right. Yeah, everybody's got a right to defend themselves. He has a right to defend himself if he's on. Day Scooby, I delayed that. Yeah, she's like New Days is taking care of a friend who's in great peril. She probably saved her life. Who's screaming at you, Anton? All right, so stay on track here. Y'all gonna duke it out in the chat room. All right, so here it is, guys. So the question is, we should have a conversation about it, though. I mean, we're looking at, do we defend them? Do we we've had an ambiguity policy for a long time. Well, who we defend them or not? We're not going to say. We're ambiguous about it. But then Biden just coming, oh yeah, we'll defend them. He said it, like 4 times. And I got China on his hackles. But then again, why should it? Taiwan don't belong to China. It's a separate country. It should be recognized as such. It ain't no one country policy. It's punk. But anyway, why do I say that? Because the People's Republic of China is what went to the island of Formosa, which we call Taiwan today. Chiang Kai-shek, General Chiang Kai-shek, yeah, his forces. Yeah, they were beaten in the war almost, but they managed to survive and they retreated to Taiwan. But they were the original Chinese government. And oh yeah, China wouldn't exist as a nation had we not stopped Japan in World War II. So much for China being thankful. And China wouldn't have had all the international trade they got if we hadn't gave them most nation favored trading status and opened up our markets to them. And then our Navy has worldwide provided a peaceable transit for ships of all nations for ever since World War II. That's the Bretton Woods form of globalism, which our nation ensured international trade around the world. And China profited greatly by that. They never would have survived without it. China wouldn't be who they are today had it not been for the USA. And yet they're ungrateful. So I got no room for China. But do we defend Taiwan? There should be a national debate on it. There's not a debate. Now, the people of China are freedom loving. No, the people of, well, yeah, probably the people of China too. They want freedom. The people in Taiwan, and don't tell me I'm racist. Now, I've had the platform crack on me one time talking about this, that I was racist. How is talking for the people of Taiwan racist? people of Taiwan are the same people as the people in China. They're both Han Chinese. One side loves freedom, one side's oppressed. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And so I'm supposed to love oppression? That's what it boils down to. We're supposed to love oppression. Oh, thank you, great master. Oh, thank you for putting that boot on my neck so hard. That pressure feels so good. Would you mash it down just a little harder? Oh, that's what it's all about. We're supposed to do that. Please mash my neck just a little harder. Okay. I like Taiwan. I like Taiwanese. I like Chinese. I once dated a girl from Guangdong. That's very much in mainland China. So, you know, there's good people. I tell you, everybody on this channel, I said, there's good people from every country, every land, every Hampshire village, city, state, valley, hill, patch of woods, of every race, color, creed, any way you want to shake it and bake it. There's good and bad people everywhere. And probably most people are good, but a lot of people are just, they're trying to get along. And in most countries, people are oppressed. And one reason China's making so many worldwide gains is because a lot of these little countries are run by little fiefdoms, where the guy running the country or woman, whatever it may be, usually some guy, is an oppressor. And suddenly they're not having to worry about being harassed by the United States trying to promote democracy. But our promotion of democracy really just usually means we join their banking system. And it has very little to do with democracy. Or we'll tell them they got to meet the global warming standards, or maybe they got to meet they got to love the BLT, LB, XYZ, whatever the multicolor flag stuff is. I don't want to say it directly because I'm trying not to trip. The Al Gore has no rhythms. But, you know, we try to force a lot of policy stuff down their throats, and that'll go over well in some countries. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's what the United States does, and a lot of countries don't like that. And China says, oh, well, you do whatever you want to do as long as you trade with us. You're good. Just trade with us. That's all we want. Because it's all to China, either let us have your military ports, vote with us in the UN. Yeah, China's about to own the United Nations. Well, they just made such huge inroads around the world. The BRICS are going. The dollar's at risk. So, gets old, so immaterial. What are we talking about, Wise Al? Don't care. If you don't care about America defending other nations, it would be wise to prop up and defend America. If you don't care about America defending other nations, then it would be wise to prop up and defend America. It's still classic. Clean up your own backyard first. Well, yeah, we need to clean up our backyard. Hey, I love this country, guys. Make no doubt about it. I love this country. And I'm not into the self-loathing junk that they're trying to push through our heads these days. I kick back on it. And I say, yeah, we've got faults. Nobody's perfect. We've had some checkered history. Sure. Show me one better country. How about that? Just show me one that's better. Show me a country's pristine and clean. I'll show you the dirty laundry. Yeah, a country out there that don't have dirty laundry. Oh, yeah, Switzerland. But Switzerland is kind of the head of the world global banking system. Is that great and wonderful? You tell me. You tell me. Maybe they're not so great and wonderful. I say, what's Aaron saying? You know what really bugs me was I consider both of them as my friends. Lee's saying, yes, it does get old. I never said a word to him. Oh, well. Man, I don't know what y'all fighting over, Lee. Thought y'all be duking it out in the chat room. There isn't what, Anton? Oh, isn't one. There you go. Yeah, people thought that the Indian tribes, American Indians, oh, they were so pristine and they lived simple to nature and they never bothered anybody. You can think about something. If you ever read about when DeSoto came to America and came through the region I live in, all the Indian tribes that he encountered When my ancestors came here, there wasn't none of those Indian tribes here. They'd all been displaced by other tribes. How? Through warfare. Yeah. Tribes displaced each other all the time. They fought, had wars. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's the history of the world, guys. That's the history of the world. So, so what it boils down to, look, when I say Taiwan, see, we get our chips from Taiwan. It's not just that. Something like, I hear different estimates, third to 50% of the world's trade goes through the area of the South China Sea, a good bit of it through the Taiwan Strait, actually. It's at least 30% of the world's trade. I'm hearing people saying 50%. I don't think it's really 50%. That's the number I'm hearing a lot now. I think it's more like 30%. But still, South Korea and Japan are totally dependent on being able to get through the South China Sea and the Strait of Malacca out to Saudi Arabia, because they got to have that energy. They don't survive without it. They got to have the energy. And if China shuts that down by totally seizing the South China Sea, then they own South Korea. They own Japan. So why is South Korea and Japan so fickle about us defending Taiwan? Good question. Should we defend Taiwan? That's another good question. But you know, I think there's good questions here. Like I said, at least the people in Taiwan, they love freedom. They're very enterprising people. And, you know, to be able to hold their own in a situation of having a dragon breathe down their back, pretty interesting. But, you know, hats off to them. And like I said, my friend David Pine don't think we should do it. I got friends that have different opinions about things. He puts it out there. I'll let him come on my channel and talk about it. Scooby, here's the link. Last 10 minutes where I found what I was missing in my. I was at my show on. Oh, it's a YouTube show. So, Days, what about the show I did with Paul Cottrell? I thought that was on my Rumble channel. Was that on YouTube? It says it welcomes debate, sunset, all the noise. Oh, got debate in here. If y'all let it go, let it rip. Debate. I believe in freedom of speech. I'm the president of the Freedom Restoration Foundation. So I'm not squelching speech. Let her rip. Like I said, if you want to throw a rock at me, throw a rock at me. I'm big. I'm mean. I can handle it. I'm not mean, but I can handle it. I'm a big boy. But if y'all want to debate in the channel, if y'all want to debate each other, fine. Just be respectful if you can. At least no cursing. Now that's where you get in trouble on my channel. No cursing. No nudities. And no links to nudities. No nudities or no links to nudities. Not on this channel. This is a family channel. Debate is healthy. I think we have a different legal system with D. Need a fight channel. There we go. Fight channel. That's a good idea. Duke it out, folks. All righty, guys. Let's move on here. But this raises a good question. This is a good article. I like this 1945 magazine that's online. It's one of my go-tos for a lot of stuff. I don't agree with everything I see on here. I probably don't entirely agree with this article, but they at least they put a lot of good content in here. The case for Taiwan and American intervention, but they also talk, you know, I think they cover both sides, and if I remember right. Whoa, that was a little sketchy. Is war our only choice? So, guys, there's a lot of things to be asked here. But I think we need a national debate on this. I don't trust Joe B to be the ultimate decider on some of these things. Australia's in the house. Hey, Pioneer One, good to see you from Australia here. Stephen Brooks, quitting drinking, busy Oz. Well, hey, you're drinking, it's bad for you. I used to do my share, I know. All right. So let's go here to, all right, just because I got a crummy news network don't mean that I'm endorsing them. I'm just showing you what their headlines are. I'm not even go through the article, okay? I've had people unsubscribe just because I flipped to these guys. Actually, it's been bought out, and the guys who bought it's reportedly conservatives. He's reportedly shaking things up. I don't know. Japan prepared to, but this is major breaking news. Lee, did you get this news item? Japan is prepared to shoot down a North Korean spy satellite rocket if necessary. Guys, this right here could start a war with North Korea. We could so get into it. See, we're over there to defend South Korea. If the North Korea rolls into South Korea, we're there. We got the treaty. We defend them. We're supposed to be defending Japan. This could get us in a war with North Korea, and China would love that. If we get wrapped up in the war with them, it makes it easier for them to take, oh yeah, Taiwan. So I was asked earlier, will we do it by May? It depends on a lot of stuff. Now, see, May is a good time for sea states. You know, the spring and fall is when the sea states are calmest in the Taiwan Strait. They sure been beating their chest a lot. So it's possible. You know, we got military commanders as well. They might take them by 2025, 2027, 2029. We hear all those dates. It could be this year. But we'd see an amassing of forces if they were going to do it. They may do a lot of the guys of commercial transports, but still there will be something big activity going on prior to an invasion. And we're pretty darn close to May, so they'd have to start amassing something real fast. We should be seeing it through our satellites. But does that mean we're going to know it? Lee, will we know if they're amassing stuff over there? Lee would know that as good as anybody. Well, we know if the Chinese are amassing sufficient forces. Now, see, Lee watched, you know, we had a lot of people on the ground watching and cameras and stuff, and Lee was on top of watching the Ruskies mount stuff in Ukraine. So will we have similar intel available to us vis-a-vis China amassing troops to hit Taiwan? There's been so much, look at all the leaks we just got out of the Pentagon. There's been so much stuff that leaked there. I think that our side, if they could, would hide it. They wouldn't show it if they knew we were doing it. So who knows, guys? Yeah, I guess Diamond left. I'd like to see him duke it out. Don't debate it in here. All right. This is another big major news item. China building up cyber weapons to attack enemy satellites. And this came from the leak. Well, duh. I could have told you that. I've already said, you know, that they look at the warfare as a multi-pronged approach. All right, guys, I want to talk about it. Let's don't talk about it. Other than nothing, Cha-Cha Lee is angry at Diamond. Yeah, these two guys aren't happy campers with each other. China is not massing yet, but they're getting ready. That's what I thought. But will we know when they do, Lee? That's my question. Will we know when they do? Yeah, they were setting up a lot of the organizational elements to do it. That I know. But hey, one of the great things with Peter Zion, you know, that great geopolitical guy I've mentioned a few times, you guys, he's got a lot of content on YouTube. There's like 5 or 6 channels that cover him. He'll go speak at a conference and they'll take what he says and slice it 6 ways to Sunday, and they'll play it and replay it over all these different channels. You know, they think he's the god of geopolitics, and he's really smart in a lot of areas, and some things I know he's right on, but he ain't right on everything. One thing he's saying is, well, that China, because of the demographics, is going to crash, and I think ultimately they will. But they've got, a few games going. If they can pull it off, they might not, and then they may at least be in a stasis. And one of the games they're playing is the same thing Japan did. Japan has crashed demographically, but Japan outsourced a lot of their industry. Like I got a Toyota truck plant just a few miles from me here. Yeah, so that's how we're embedded with China. There's South Korea and China, excuse me, South Korea and Japan, not China. South Korea and Japan have factories all over Madison County, Alabama, where I live. They're heavily invested here, more than anybody else. No other country is in this area in Alabama. Now there is a Mercedes factory. There's a Mercedes SUV factory. That's German in Alabama. But mostly what you find in Alabama is South Korean and Japanese. We got tons of Japanese factories and South Korean factories all over. In fact, we do have a transformer factory near Montgomery, and it is South Korean. So admin debate is going on. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that. Not right now. I'll save that for later. So what they're doing is China's moving their factories out. They're moving their supply chains out. And then putting some up closer to the sources of the materials. That's a smart move. But it also, see, Chinese labor costs are actually going up. So they're finding cheaper labor elsewhere and diversifying and building relationships with other countries, things that we're not doing in the United States right now. We're losing the world because our State Department is so darn brilliant. We're losing the world. We should fire the whole lot, you know. So I said here, Russia diesel exports hit record highs as the sanctioned fuel cuts into U.S. market share. Well, there you have it, guys. This is Mr. Phil Rosen. He wrote that, I'd say today. Well, now it's the 23rd, but not long ago he wrote that. In the last 24 hours, at least published it. He might have been working on it for a few weeks. He just published it. On Greg's chat about 2 months ago, what was that, Arnold? What was on my chat about 2 months ago? Mad Shad Magma, make America great matters again. All right. So let's move on here. Russian diesel. So this is what I was talking about. You know, the sanctions have not worked nowhere near as well as they had thought, and China's looking at this too. So that's where I was saying Peter Zion, you know, he's out going, well, the China looks and sees how the sanctions work, and they wouldn't dare do anything because they can't afford the sanctions that would hit them. They don't care. They really don't care, because now they got BRICS to trade with. They got tons of people to trade with them. Yeah, the BRICS is growing, and our side's getting smaller. All right, let's kind of change topics here a little bit. Our economics are looking rough, and this is we'll cover reasons you ought to be prepping and getting ready, guys. Our economics is looking rough. More Americans are losing their homes as foreclosures on U.S. properties rise. I'm going to come back to this. This ties into another little article I'm going to mention over on Go Ahead News in a little bit. Guys, bear this in mind. Foreclosures are on the rise. Our economics are getting worse. But listen, I'm going to come back to this. I'm going to cover it on Swivel Head. I'm going to move it over to the articles. I'm going to do with that. Ding, ding. Now we're going to come back over here. Bing. All right, let's talk environmental stuff just a little bit. Researchers find redfish and Florida coastal fish contaminated with prescription drugs. So we got those forever chemicals in our water. They evaporate into the air, so evaporation distilling won't get rid of them. that fall with the rainwater, and we get hormones, you know, from the plastics, biphenol, and what's the other other plastic agent. One makes plastic hard and the other soft. Those are both estrogen mimickers. Well, this stuff here is just drugs, and the seawater's full of it. And guys, I got to tell you this. That's why, you know, I'm no big fan of big pharma. If you were in a space habitat, this would wreck your space colony. If you live in a small enclosed recycling environment, we've got to come up with herbs. Will do a whole lot of what you do with all these stupid medicinals we have, and they break down. Herbs are natural molecules. The medicinals from herbs break down in the environment naturally. We need to do a whole lot more research into the use of herbs. See, the big drug companies don't do that because they spend so much money getting their stuff qualified, and herbs are too cheap. That's tough. We need to force it. Fish are selling drugs are doing them. Madam, this comes from the people that take the drugs. They pee in their urinals and it gets flushed out the rivers and seas. That stuff don't filter out and it gets in the fish. So these drugs come from people. People take it. It goes right through you and out into the environment, and they don't break down. It gets into the fish and it affects the fish in all kinds of ways. And then you eat the fish and you get a double dose. You're taking somebody's cycle drugs. So you wonder when you eat fish and you get kind of mind numb. Oh, yeah, that's fine. You want to drive your pickup truck through my living room? That's okay. Try not to get mud on my television. I've been eating a lot of trout lately. Thought I was feeling dizzy. Well, there you go. If you're getting them out of a river where it's all coming out of a glacier, you probably ain't got anything to worry about. But if it's coming, if they're drinking the downstream water that people's urine's getting flushed into, it's a wholly different matter. All right. Russian nationalists threaten revolution if Putin looks for peace in Ukraine. Now, Lee, what do you make of that? What do you make of that, Lee? Most drugs pass through the body one way or another. No kidding. There's no money in natural medicine. Well, I guess that's their problem. Well, Big Pharma's a bunch of drug pushers. We ought to put them out of business. They don't deserve to be in business. Holy smoke at the ads. Jeez. Those ads ought to be banned. They shouldn't be on my channel. All righty, guys. I'm just showing you some smattering topics right now. This is why blow this up to make sense. Oh, shoot. Need to enlarge it some more. There you go. $1, that's $10,000. That's $100,000. $100,000. That's $1 million. That's 10 million. You take that, put that 10 million in a block, that's a billion. Here's a trillion. It's just one little piece of one layer section of all of that. There's a 747. That's what $1 trillion looks like. And our national debt is $31.4 trillion. Stonefish are stoned. All right. Cut that out. All right, guys. That's why I want to show you that. These articles are my perspective on the war. I need to save this article. I got a national debt clock I like to show a lot too. But guys, we just can't continue the way we're going in this country. The wheels on the train are about to fall off. Bottom line is you need to get ready. You need to prep. But the biggest thing I've been advocating is self-resilience. You know, look, if you got self-resilience, a lot of that is just knowledge, how to garden, how to plant, how to do things. You need to save your seeds. I did a special video about about the Indians when they were in the Trail of Tears, how why they actually sewed the seeds into their garments. And when the members of the tribe died, the other ones took those garments, and the troops thought they were being barbaric. No, their seeds would have been stolen from them by the troops. Those seeds were their livelihood. They had to have them, and they knew it. Watch my video on that. It's way back, like 2 or 3 years ago. It was a very important video. Didn't get enough eyes on it, guys, but it was a very important message. Your seeds are vital. You need to have your seeds. Oh, yeah, I'm talking about that. Let me share something. Ding, ding. Let's go back to share screen. Bing, 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 bing. That's a good segue into True Leaf Market, guys. Go to my links on True Leaf Market. I don't usually post these links on my live videos. Sometimes I do, but you'll see them on the videos I post. I don't go live on. You'll see the links to my channel, and in the notes, it's often shared by New Days. Let's leave Sam, because you guys let it go on and on. You give me crap for taking up for myself. I ain't giving no crap, buddy. Take up for yourself. I was hoping you guys would duke it out. All righty. So go to True Leaf Market, guys. Here, help me, help my channel, and be good for you. You can get the heirloom seeds here. You can get supplies, growing kits, microgreens. And I say, I got to go in here and put an order in for some microgreens tonight. I'll make sure my credit thing cleared out. Anyway, guys, this is what you need to do. Or if you don't like what you, there's a huge selection in here. It's a huge selection. Specialty seeds, garden seeds, all kind of stuff for your garden, guys. And if you don't like what you find here, just come over here to again, look at my links, find my link to Eden Brothers. It'll cost you a penny more, and it'll help me. It's good for you too. So I got two seed sources. Actually, well, right now it's time to plant your garden. Cryptic, because anyone knows bananas don't have seeds in them anymore. Yeah, they've not had them for a long time. Cryptic. Yield to the drama. Loudy, loudy. All right, I'm gonna stop the share again. Boom. Oh no, why are we gonna go back? I gotta share a few other things. Ding, 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 ding. Hang on. What time is it? 1:41. Let's do a review of what channels there are. This is my Rumble Swivelhead News channel. And I got some videos in here that I can never put on this platform. These videos, ooh, I would not have a platform if I put them on there. How they get you to surrender. Oh yeah. Those are topics they wouldn't like. That one. This one, I think this is the one where New Days got her advice about the use of K2. There's no way this video would fly on YT. No. Those have been double posted. That one, especially with the head of the Wu curtsying to Xi Jinping. Oh yeah, they wouldn't like this. Look at him, he's in a curtsy. That's why I put that on there. Curtsying. Yeah, I got some more content I got to put on here. Just hadn't had time to put on here. I got something to talk about that I ain't gonna hint about here because it's all kind of trouble here. All right, this is my YouTube Swivelhead News channel. This is where we're going next in just a little bit. Hey, look here, I got some good little limericks and rap sessions here starting out. And there's some of those videos. Oh, I actually did that video on YouTube. I tested it. I actually survived with that. Wow. And then bing, 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 bing. This is my Galactic Greg's channel. We did a live where I did like a radio show. Since all the video content was copywritten, I just talked through the SpaceX launch, the Starship. But I did a video talking about beforehand the risk inherent in what they're trying to do, which is not greatly appreciated as of yet. I will do a follow-up video. So this is if you need some sounds to soothe you down at night, to go to sleep by, study by, meditate by, do your yoga or whatever you do. I got my frogs and rain on my log barn. That's 10 hours, that's 9 hours. That's, you can see the leaves fluttering through this. This one's dark screen. You get some variety there. All right, guys, what I've been saying about resilience. We need to be resilient. We need to be self-sufficient. But why is this not loading? This is Survival Tribe Network. It's not loading for some reason. I may have too much memory taken up here. So where my memory's at. No, I ain't maxed out for memory. I don't know why this is not loading. Enter button. Enter button. Whoa! There we go. Wise Owl paid greatly out of her pocket to set this up because we had started the Survival Tribes Network here on this channel. She paid, she has been ahead of it. She has got her own network. She started before we started it here. She joined with us. She set this up to help us integrate. She set this up. That's Wise Owl. I don't know who that guy is. Ring Red's Worm Farm. I need to adopt that. But you come here, you join it, and what happens is you get a community search, a lot of stuff in here, guys. But the main thing is there's a lot of people in here now. You can identify people in your community. You can use a handle when you join it, so nobody knows exactly who you are or where you live exactly, but they know what kind of people are out there in their neighborhoods. Then you can contact each other, meet each other in some nondescript place, you know, for coffee or a burger or something, get to know each other and figure out if y'all want to form a tribe. We got to be forming these networks, but you need to understand the people you're coming in with. You need to vet each other and make sure that you're on the same sheet of music. Because getting together in a tribe like this is kind of like getting married. Hey, Snow Raven, good evening. It's kind of like getting married. So there we are. And this is my organization. I started. Mine. I started it. I'm the founding president of it. We have a board of directors. The Freedom Restoration Foundation. What do we stand for? This is our action center page. Let's go to the home page. I think this is the home page. Now this is some of our alerts. Uh-oh, something's wrong there. We stand for what? The issue to armed bearers. Freedom of speech. Actually, we stand for all of our freedoms. These are some of the main things that were areas we're being attacked today. Now, I can't come in here and tell you I'm president of Freedom Restoration Foundation and advocate the freedom of speech and not have free speech on my platform here. So y'all say anything as long as it's not illicit, illegal, or filthy. You want to throw a rock at me? Throw it. You want to debate me? Go for it. I've also got, hey guys, if you go to shopc60.com, but this stuff is great antioxidants. It's amazing. You see my video I did on it. Not many people watch that. This stuff will boggle your mind. Just go Greg 10, you get 10% off. All right. We might go into the, well, we're on the other channel. We've been here long enough here. Uncommon News. How you doing, Doug? Doug sent me a bunch of stuff. We need to be talking. I wound up being awake late. How you doing there, Jason? I don't know that anybody's network bashing. We got a couple of people in here bashing each other. I hatched 8 chicks 2 weeks ago. They're done great and growing fast. That's good to hear. World Mars is at Green Greg Sunday morning. Sunday morning? Oh, World Matches. Oh, boxing. James Malley. I pip in from time to time, but I pretty much try not to say anything while I'm here. Usually get timed out or my head bitten off. Well, get your head bitten off for it, James. All right, I've asked my mods to go lighter on that stuff. Yeah, you're right, Arnold. Lee and Diamond need to sort it out between themselves. David Potter, this weed is making me sleepy. Uh-oh. Drinking coffee. I got some coffee over here. I'll take my sleep line down. I take it in a cup or a mug. Happiness is a warm mug, or happiness is a warm nug. A nug is not a mug, but they both have handles. One's got a little toggle thing in it. It likes his finger. Hey, time to sign the peace treaty between us. Anton, are you and Lee still scrapping? Cha-cha, good night. Patrick, good to see you. I'm going to cover, let's see. We're going to do windy on this channel, and then we'll do earthquakes and space weather on Soilhead News. There, pretty calm in most of the United States, except down in central Texas, just south of you there, Lee. They've had a lot of weather in Dallas, off and on the last couple of months. Yeah, I was talking to a guy who was telling me he had snow. He was in Colorado today. I was talking to him. I've been in Denver on Memorial Day and seen snow there on Memorial Day. But I have seen people ice fish up here in the middle of the month of May. Ontario got a lot of snow. Hey, how's Maine looking new days? Y'all melted out? Alberta was pretty calm there. Let's go into Alberta for Arnold. Oh, we got freezing at Fort McMurray. Calgary is below freezing. Just don't have the precip falling. Fairbanks is 16 degrees. Minus 10 up here in this pass. Guys, we're into the springtime. Minus 10 degrees. That's the pass in the Brooks Range. That's your mountain range in northern Alaska. Southern Alaska's got the Alaska Range. It runs right about here. Delta Junction is 21 degrees. That's odd. Lately, I look in here and I see Fairbanks cooler than Delta Junction. Back in the days when I was up there, Delta Junction was always cooler than Fairbanks. Interesting. Usually about 10 degrees, so. That's a very much interesting. All right, we got a lot of people here from Arizona. We had Australia in the house earlier. Who else? What are the places we got? Spring Branch, Texas. What about Spring, Texas? 30s, 40s. Tucson's 73. Sholo's 50. Snowflake's 55. Holbrook's 57. Flagstaff is 37. All right. Texas. A lot of y'all in Texas. Lee's over here. Lee's close to Dallas. I don't know what side of Dallas you on, Lee. 52 degrees. A little windy there, a little breezy, it looks like. So a little rain just north of Houston. 68 down there, 61 Mobile. Shows 50 in my area, roughly. Well, probably 48. I'm out in the county. Up here, Maine. Holton's 37. Spring, Texas is supposed to be getting down to 48. I got a daughter and 2 grandkids and a son-in-law there. Beautiful family. 48. You in Spring, Texas? Ladle Bell, are you in Spring, Texas? I haven't got a check from Prep with Patriot Supply in months. I think something's wrong. I got to check and see what's going on. It's been, dang, 5 or 6 months. Something's really wrong. South America getting hammered pretty good. They're saying we're going into El Nino. Big time, a super El Nino. All right, we got somebody here from Australia. At least we did earlier. All right, we got anybody from any countries wanting to see? It's autumn in Australia, but it's pretty warm. Pretty warm everywhere. Hobart, way down here is 59 because it's heading down toward Antarctica. We got 61 at Christchurch, 59 in Wellington, though. What is that? Never been to New Zealand. Never been to Australia. Oh, we have 50 right here. Blow it up, but the letters don't get any bigger. Invercargill. Hope I said it right. Invercargill, 50 degrees. Oban, 50. Bluff, 53. Oh, it's coming right off Antarctica, probably. Hey, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot or Oyster Po' Boy, still $5. If not, have a coffee on me. Are you talking about Po' Boy's restaurant? I haven't been in there in a while. Been a while since I've been there. Got some snow around Antarctica down there. You'd figure that, wouldn't you? All righty. We're going to save the earthquake mountains and weather map for, we got to come back on here. We're going to go to Swivelhead News. Stop share. We've actually been here for a long time tonight. Let's see. How long have we been in the room? 98 minutes. An hour and a half, guys. We've been here for a long time. It's raining in Auckland. Okay. I grew up in Spring and graduated from Clean. Okay, Lady Bell, where are you at now? All right, everybody, just roll and tell me where you're at. We're going to go to Swivelhead News next. It's going to take me a couple minutes to flip everything. I've been to Fremantle, Perth, and Hobart. Okay, very good, Jason. I've not been down in there. Now, Anise Gervais was born in, I've talked about the Gervais family a lot. She was born in New Zealand. She was born on some island or some coast where nobody had been born for 60 years. She was the first one born there in like 2 generations. All right, Anton, you and Lee trying to make peace. What's going on there? All right, make peace. Bottom line of this channel is light dispels darkness, love dispels hate. North Georgia. All right, very good. Taos, New Mexico. Hey, Mr. Bonsai. Do you live in a Earthship house? Do you live in an Earthship house, Mr. Bonsai? I got an idea. Diamond's building one, but I got a concept that's way beyond the Earthship house. My universal habitat. You should go sit. I got it listed on my channel. All right. So we got a Five Eyes, Pine Gap, Australia. Oh, very good, Patrick. North Georgia, 12 Bravo. We're in North Georgia. Copperpolis, Northern California. I don't know if I said that right. Sorry about that. Northern California, snow in the hills, 60. All right, Marvin Funtime. Foothills of South Carolina, Kathy Humphreys. Begs are going to have to broker the peace deal. But the fight is so much more fun. All right, Anton Lee, you're both in here right now. Y'all make up. Hug and kiss. Cut it out. Greg, all right, let's see. SurvivalTribeNetwork.com. Yeah, y'all need to join that. We're going to Silverhead News on YouTube. Wyndham County, Georgia. Okay. Trying to build self-sufficient home. No, but trying to build a self-sufficient home living ecosystem. That's good, Mr. Bonsai. Hey, a homestead is great. Homestead is great. Got no issue with anybody living on a homestead. Lizzie may be dizzy. Frog Hop, Texas. Frog Hop, Texas. That's a funny name. Foothills of the Hill Country. Spring Branch, Texas. Passing the peace pipe to a couple of chatters. Okay. We need a peace pipe in here, don't we? All right. Lee, you still here? Anton's trying to shake your hand, Lee. You still here, buddy? Maybe I'm trying to call my phone. My ringer's off. Keep it off when I'm live. Because I don't want everybody hearing ring, 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 ring. Everybody try to call me anything big. Boom, 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 boom. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, somebody from Tennessee. That's early. No, that's the call I made. I don't know. Nobody's called me. Nobody's texted me. All right, nothing major. No hatchet. There you go. All right. So, Greg, brother, what do you think SpaceX will do now? No, they don't declare bankruptcy. They got money to do these developments. They were figuring it probably wouldn't make it the first mission. Those rockets usually go boom first several flights. He's got to redo the launch pad. He should have had a water suppression and flame bucket at least, but I don't think he needs to be launching there. He's got 2 big oil rigs named Phobos and Deimos. They need to outfit those and take that stuff out to sea launch. It's too damn dangerous. Pardon my language. Just too dangerous to be launching that stuff 6 miles from Port Isabel and 2 miles from Boca Chica. It's just too close. That's all in dangerous zone for rockets of that size. No, shouldn't be doing it. He absolutely should not be doing that. And when I saw him putting in there to launch, I thought, what is he thinking? What is he thinking? He's a smart man. You know, look at that. He was so smart, he didn't put a flame bucket in for his rocket. He thought, well, we don't need it. We'll try to get by without it. The most powerful rocket ever done. He's trying to do what nobody else would do. And what did he do? He blew chunks of concrete. That rocket dug a well under the launch pad. It dug a well. It blasted concrete all over the place. Concrete. And they think they're going to land on the moon on one of those. Oh, the moon is just powder. that thing is going to blast a crater in the moon. Now, that's the upper stage. But that upper stage has done some damage to concrete. You put that thing on the moon, it's going to blow a hole in the ground, and it's going to land. It's going to go whoop, boom. They better rethink how they're going to land on the moon. It has to work on Mars. It might work on Mars. The moon is real powdery. So Mars at least got an atmosphere. The lunar surface is real powdery. It's regular. Well, Mars is regular food. It's not as bad as the moon. But, you know, he needs a third scale size vehicle, about a third of the thrust, to land on the moon and set out a concrete pad, or use the Dynetics concept for a lander, which is low slung, low CG, best design of any of the three out of a Blue Origin, Dynetics, and who originally were designing landers. I like the Dynetics design. Land on the moon, put down some concrete pads, and then you could probably land a big star, the upper stage Starship. You never could land super heavy on something like that. Well, at least not at full thrust. Coming down landing, you won't be at full thrust. But holy guac and smoke-a-moly. Oh. Well, Decoy, he's just wanting to make peace. All right, let's drop it. When you at Redstone, did you know General? He wasn't a general, he was a colonel. Bearden, Tom Bearden, he was a colonel. Retired colonel, he was not a general. Yeah, I met him. Can't say I knew him, but I met him. He used to work for a company called CRC, one of my friends worked for. Computer Resources Corporation, I think it was. Well, some of the mathematicians that worked there with him said that his theories were kind of like the dividing by zero. I don't know, Joe. Yeah, the scalar interferometer. Show me one. Show me one that's working anywhere. Journey to the center of the moon. Hey, now listen, guys, if you could bore a hole all the way through the moon, and if it weren't magma in the middle, which it probably is even on the moon, but if you had like an asteroid that was totally solid with no magma in the middle, in the moon, if it were solid, if it was frozen out, you could bore a hole straight through it, and you could drop a space capsule into it. Whoop, it would fall all the way through. Whoop, it would have so much momentum. Now the gravity would be pulling it down until it got to the center, you know, basically. At the center, if you're in the center of a planet, you're in zero gravity because the rest of the planet pulls you in every direction. But then the momentum will be going with it, so it's not going to stop at the zero gravity point. It's going to go through the other side, and it'll go all the way down to about the height at which it was dropped from. Then fall back in the other direction. It just cycle back and forth. But over time, due to I guess inefficiency of loss of energy through the gravity, whatever, it would not go quite as far. The next time it come back to you, it wouldn't be quite as high as it was when you dropped it. It'd be a little lower the next time. It would damp over time. With the vacuum, it'd take a long time to damp out. Now, if you had just a little thruster on it, you can make up for the damping. So what it make good for is a shuttle to go from one side of the moon to the other. You had a hole going all the way through the moon. It would have to go through the center. So you could actually go through part of it tangentially through a piece of the moon on the edge. And you get the same kind of effect. So you can just go whoop, 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 whoop. You'd have to have some suspension against the gravity when you're not going through the center, because you're not falling straight down. So you got to support yourself against that. But you can still go whoop, 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 whoop. So you just have to have a little thruster to maintain it and to make up for the losses that you're probably going to be stopping to let people in cargo on and off. Wouldn't that be cool? Flat Earth, forget flat Earth. If the Earth was flat, my property in Arizona, you can see the White Mountains, but you can't because they're over the curvature. Or like when I was at Fort Greely, Alaska, oh, the flat earthers said, well, you can't see them because they're so far off, they're tiny. Bull. That's a bunch of bunk. You get a little altitude, you see. They're the same distance. Oh, they're just as tiny, but you can see. Why? Because you're seeing over the curvature of the earth when you get a little altitude. I know, I've seen Mount McKinley from Fort Greely when I was in an airplane, but you will not see it from the ground. It's plenty big enough to see. It ain't getting so small you can't see it. That's what they claim. Bonk. Bonk, 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 bull, 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 bull. Bravo Sierra. No. And like I said, you can drive 30 minutes from my place in Snowflake to the White Mountains. They're 4,000 feet higher. You cannot see them from my property, which is flat in Snowflake. It's because of the curvature of Earth. Yeah, electromagnetic sled launch, exactly. Hey, Granny, how you doing? Green people. Boring. And lots of boring. Yeah, it'd be good for the Boring Company, right? That Elon started. You can bore out part of Mars and do the same thing. Thrust past the center. Yeah, exactly. Problem is that on the moon, I'm sure you still got a molten core on the moon. It's not cooled down that much. We still see some signs of a little bit of volcanism. And Mars, I think, still got it too. But if you can find a really big asteroid that's cooled down and don't have a molten core, Ceres maybe. It's a big asteroid. That's the biggest one. You probably might be able to do a Ceres. I think Ceres may have an ocean under it. There may be bugs swimming around. I'm a fan of panspermia. Life came from out there. It's all over the universe. It's nothing bigger than bugs. Kelly's in a hospital. Alrighty, guys. We're about to go. We're going to go to the Silverhead News. I got some stuff I want to cover there the night. I was just too darn tired to do it, and I had to get up early because I was going to the farmer's market this morning. Oh, my knees are sore. Yeah, so we're going to do it. We'll do it right now. Let's do, since we're hearing that Kathy's in the hospital, let's do a prayer for her. Let's pray for New Days because she is supposed to have been getting an operation. She's deferred it because she's taking care of her friend. And let's pray for her friend. You want to tell us the name, New Days? It's up to you. Let's pray for her friend who's the medical system would have killed her if it wasn't for New Days. Yeah, she's in Australia, Arnold. Is she with us tonight? She's definitely in Australia. Kitten. All right, we'll pray for Granny. We'll pray for or is New Days gone? Pray for Lee and Diamond. There you go. And we'll pray for Anton too. Lee, Diamond, and Anton. And Lee. He said Lee was in bed. She's okay. I need to get in bed. My van is going to have to, its brakes worked on in the morning. All right. We're going to go next to Swivelhead News, but I got some political stuff we'll cover over there. I don't want to cover it in this jump. Miss Mapley, there you go. That's who we're going to pray for, Miss Mapley. And New Days. And of course, Randy Blythe, the Blue Bottle Bunny Farm. Blue Bunny Bottle. I'm alive. Glad you are too. There you go, April. You need a prayer. Pray for world peace and discernment. Oh, yeah, discernment. You're darn right about that. For real, pray indeed. There you go. I got friends who don't get along with each other, okay? I can accept that. I've always had that. In my life, I've got along with camps in my family that would be feuding. I get on both sides. I've done that. All right. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all how to pray. Pray according to however you normally pray. This is not a religious channel. We're a family. Family pray for each other. That's hopeful. My pillow's calling. All right, Chewy. Say a quick prayer. We'll be quick. And then we're going over to Swivelhead News. It's going to take me a few minutes to shut this channel down, make a few adjustments, and go over there. All right, real quick. Amen. Oh, yeah. Pray for your enemies too. Pray for my dad in Tomball. He has cancer. Oh, Lady LaBelle. Lady LaBelle's dead. All right, guys. Take that one to bed and pray it right after we end here. That's scary. All right, folks. We're going to go from here and we're going to go to Swivelhead News. So instead of saying Greg out, I'm simply going to say